This movie was loud. What's going on, people? Alex Thorn here, and I'm just a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And this time, I went to the theater on the premiere date to watch Smile 2. And a few months ago, I saw the trailer to this movie and instantly was interested because of the musician aspect of it, me being a musician myself. And if we go all the way back to Smile 1 last year, just wasn't impressed. I thought the psychiatrist or whatever gimmick was cool for the lead character, but it could have been any run-of-the-mill movie. This time, with Smile 2, this stepped it up a lot. About to embark on a new world tour, global pop sensation Skye Riley begins to experience increasingly terrifyingly inexplicable events. Overwhelmed by the escalating horrors and pressures of fame, she must face her dark past to regain control of her life before it spirals out of control. This movie was very easy to follow at first. And at first, when we're introduced to Skye Riley, I kid you not, I swear to you, I thought that this chick looks so much like another industry star, a Bella Danger. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you know her work, you know what I'm talking about. But I love that she had a more relatable look prior to what happens to where she's at in this movie. As I mentioned in the description, Skye Riley is trying to adapt and regain control of her life after certain events. Those events being that she was in a car accident that killed an actor friend of hers. And she had a lot of substance abuse, narcotic abuse issues prior to that. Now, there's a lot of stars in our real life that we know like this. I don't want to go into details about who they are, but pop singers who were popular in the late 90s and early 2000s that come off as unstable to us today because they are, and then they have family members and PR that is constantly pushing them to do things that they clearly are not ready to do. We've seen it over and over and over again, and in this movie, finally, they explore something like this, obviously with a supernatural element. There's very few death scenes, but the death scenes that are there, CGI is really good. Let's just put it that way. It is brutal. And I'm gonna tell you right now, every single smiling scene that's in the movie is in that trailer that you see. One of the biggest issues we have with trailers today is they give away everything you see in the movie. It's just like, okay, yeah, now we're finally seeing it in the movie. But whether it's her backup dancers or fans that come up to her, or the person who passed the curse to her showing up behind her in the mirror, or it's her mother or her best friend, like everybody she knows is smiling at her. And this movie is very trippy. And when I said earlier that you can follow it in the beginning, that's everything I explained to you. After that, this movie really tends to play with the viewer because everything that Skye experiences, you experience, but as she jumps back into her current timeline, so do you. So you're watching things and a half hour passes by and suddenly you're kicked back to 45 minutes prior to that. This happens often in this movie. And I feel with this 2-hour runtime, there were so many scenes of people smiling at her and Riley losing it. And those scenes play out the same way every time, and you know it's going to be a jump scare. I feel like 26 minutes or so of this movie could have been cut out. We did not need as many jump scares as there were. I just don't feel that way. I think the movie is effective. I think the effects are great. The score is just incredibly loud and effective. And they made sure that they mixed this to the point where voices are coming from all over the place. If you have a good sound system, and I went to AMC theaters, thank you AMC for sending me out to this, by the way, that had a great sound system. And my God, was it just boom, whoa, 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 okay, from here. They do this thing where, like Evil Dead Rise did, where it's just boom, loud music out of nowhere in your face. And it's not just jump scares, it's just loud. It's once I know I seem like I'm shitting on it, but I'm not. It's just that part of the movie where there was just these constant long back and forth ping pongs in time, and you don't know what's real and what's not. And it just happens so often that by the end of the movie, you feel just as exhausted as she is. All right, with that being said, I think it's time we get to the bandana rating for 2024's Smile 2. And I'm gonna give Smile 2 a solid 4 bandanas out of 5. I think it is trippy, it is inventive. I don't know how many more times I could say that word, and I'm sorry for saying it so much, but I just don't have another way to describe how off-putting this movie really is in the way it puts you in Skye Riley's events. It puts her in her brain, and it's very clear that this movie is a play on pop stars that we knew from the late 90s, early 2000s and beyond. By the way, I want to say, as a musician, the music in this that they made for this, which I read right before the movie started, I was reading an article that said the lead actress sang the songs that are in the movie for real. They're great. You know, I'm a rock and roller, but I know a good song when I hear a good song. They did such a good job at replicating what that synthetic pop sound is that is on the radio stations that, you know, she did great with that. The way they put her family, her mother more so than anything, pushing her, it was perfect. The way they set up how everybody was like, you cannot mess this up. You're on your comeback. If you cancel, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter any of that. If you cancel, you're screwed forever. And then we're going to owe the record company and the touring company millions of dollars. You have to go through with this no matter what your mental state is. I thought all of that was great. But guys, let me know, how do you feel about Smile 2? Are you going to go out and watch it this weekend? Were you a fan of Smile 1? And if you do see it this weekend, head over to the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about it. What was your favorite part? What did you like and what did you dislike? And if you want to talk even more about horror movies and movies in general, you got to join this channel's memberships. That's right. Thorn Theater has real deal membership laminated cards for all of you Thornaholics out there and horror lovers. Not only that, but you get to request your own reviews. Let's say there's something out there you're really dying for me to review, but the masses may not want it, or it's not something that's gonna move the numbers. Guess what? You pay. You control the narrative. You get early access to videos, live only chats, as well as exclusive watch alongs just for members. And if you don't feel like committing to that, you can always leave a super chat, super thanks, or buy me a coffee. That's right. Buy me a coffee right now is a way that you can support somebody like me for making videos just for you guys, doing what we love to do. But guess what? If you buy me a coffee, at least you're fueling the journey. And right now, Buy Me a Coffee has an update to where when you leave your note of why you have gifted me coffee, I can respond back to you in video form. And with all that being said, guys, I hope you have a happy Halloween because we are in spooky season. There's more videos to come. I gotta go rock out, watch some movies, and review them for you.